Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of the Take Your Life Back Today show. Let's talk about wet, damp, or dry Alaska community villages. Which one has the most abuse? Is it the wet, the damp, or the dry? Well, I can tell you they all pretty much are equal, because whether it's damp or dry, dry meaning no alcohol allowed into the village, damp meaning you can bring it in but you can't buy it there, and wet means that you can get it overall. Author Lise Patatuk published this in March 31st last year. It's a heartbroken story full of tragedy, sadness, and pain. It's the story of alcohol in Alaska, and especially the attempts of people in small Alaska villages to mitigate the damage by controlling the flow. Unfortunately, decades have passed of Alaska's local option laws. Liquor in one form or another available throughout Bush's Alaska has gotten worse, and in recent months it has even gotten to the point where it is uncontrollable. And speaking to someone in Bethel, which is a hub in Alaska, they had said since they became a wet village, it's become twice as bad. The reality is that people who want to drink will find something to drink. Alcohol can be found in all sorts of places that you and I would probably not look. I've seen people mixing Coke with aftershave lotion and with cleaning products like Pine Sol. People will make homemade liquor or risk jail time to bring liquor back home with them. Alcohol addiction is potent, and no amount of wet, damp, or dry laws will ever be stronger than the need for one more drink before bedtime. Thus, those of us who lived in a bush of Alaska or worked there, like myself, watched this drama play out over the years with difficult to assess results. There are those who say that going dry just pushes the problem underground. There are those who say that we can't calculate a negative result. We can't know the tragedies that happened because a village was dry. The truth is, prohibitions have never really worked well in any inter-village. Village corporations and village governments have looked in operating liquor stores in the past in order to capture some of the revenue and otherwise flows directly out of the town, either legitimate retailers or bootleggers. To say that this creates a level of tension and conflict almost impossible to really gauge is to put it mildly. Control of the flow of liquor into the village is difficult when the village borders are so porous. One village may be dry and the other one down the river may be damp, and the other one a few miles away might be a wet village. All those villages are connected by boat or ski-doo as well as by plane. Keeping liquor out of the villages is impossible. For many, the idea that their local government corporation will be responsible for the liquor in their village is a joke. They view alcohol as the root of most of the evil they deal with in their communities. Having the liquor sold by the entity to which they belong seems very, very wrong. But at the same time, the entity, be it a village corporation looking to provide members with an annual dividend or a village council looking for revenue to stream that will allow to provide needed public services, finds it hard to accept that all the money involved in liquor trade is bypassing them. If the money is going to be spent on liquor anyway, why shouldn't they get the cut of the profits and make good use of it in their own communities? You can go to I think it's called ADP or something like Alaska Newspapers Online. It's ADN or ADP, but you can read all about all this stuff and get some of the information. So the debate continues. Villages over Alaska go from wet to dry to damp and back again as people struggle to find some accommodations with substance that is seemingly interactable part of their lives. The pain heard in the voices of those opposing its legitimate sales in the villages is real. The pain that alcohol abuse causes every year in these villages is staggering. But it isn't that's just the point. Even when the sale of alcohol is illegal, it's still there in vast quantities, affecting the quality of life for every family in the particular village. During almost my 5 or 6 years that I traveled back and forth, I watched villages jump from one status to another with frequency. When it was dry, they would be sudden drop in alcohol-related crimes. And then suddenly, when it became damp or wet, crime went up. I hope the people of Bethel come to some resolution on this issue that does not leave the town as angry and divided as some of the other wet, dry, damp campaigns that I've seen in the past in some of the other villages. I hope even more that they find a way to deal with the problems of substance abuse in their village, because like death and taxes, we are guaranteed that so long as someone wants to get it badly enough, alcohol will appear in all the communities, whether they're wet, dry, or damp. Wet is you can buy alcohol and bring alcohol into the village. Damp is you can bring alcohol into the village, but it's not sold in the village. Dry is you cannot sell it in the village, you cannot bring it into the village. However, communities are, as such, they're so close, a mile or two apart, via boat or plane, that one dry village can bring into a damp or a wet one, or vice versa, I should say. A wet and a damp will bring it into a dry village. It's out of control there, but the thing here is that most of the domestic violence that's up there, or violence itself, is caused by alcohol and drugs. We need to get a better grip on these Alaskan villages. I hope to God that you enjoyed this segment. I hope you look it up over at the Alaska Daily Press. I think it's ADP or ADN, I think, newspaper. Alaska Daily Newspaper, ADN.com, and read about what's going on in those villages. And may God bless you.